Alright, so today is November 15 and time's 11:33 p.m. Honestly, I'm really exhausted. I'm terribly exhausted and I want to sleep. But, alright, so as you know, I've been working with the art gallery website, and so I've been going through some resources available online. This is what I've created, and this is the approach that I have in my mind. I should be able to click on a particular image and it should hover over. So I've been going through some online resources and I came across freecodecamp.org, and they have a beautiful article on how to create an image gallery. So this is not exactly what I'm going for, but it did give me an idea on how to use CSS Grid. So I need to spend a few more minutes, a few more hours on studying how the grids work. But in the meantime, I came across W3 Schools, which is another resourceful website, and they have this beautiful collage. I don't know if it's a collage, but they are using basically Flex. So both of them are two different approach. So my idea was to first collect the images. So since I'm going to be working on an art gallery, I'll probably use the images that I have worked on personally. So I went to YouTube and I went to my Instagram link and I started screen grabbing all the images that I have in my profile. I mean, to download, I would have to sign in. So I created the image asset folder, and I'm just going to push that commit, show update asset folder for images, commit to main, push origin. I have the art gallery. So my plan right now is to upload those images over in this div containers and have those images over here, get them displayed in the first place. So that's a step one. As you can see, right now I'm using Flexbox to create these div layers, a row, each individual row. But I'm not happy with the idea of using Flexbox. I would rather go with something like a grid. Something like that you can see over here where they are using the grid. Whereas on the W3 Schools, they are using actually Flexbox to create this really cool looking image gallery. So now I'm on the fence. Should I go ahead with Flexbox or should I go ahead with the grid? I'm not entirely sure. Okay, let's do one thing. What's the criteria? Like, what's the base criteria? I can have several gallery, but I would rather prefer something more, basic. So this one looks quite fine. I mean, to be honest, it looks quite fine. What I would need is when I click on a particular container, it should pop up and I should be able to slide through each individual image. But that brings the second issue. What if the images that I pop up, what if the images that I click on has a different dimension? So it can be landscape, or it can be portrait, or it can be square. So that brings the second issue. So I would prefer having images having a unique, consistent dimension. So for the time being, seeing that everything is square, I would prefer to click on a particular image and it should hover over a square image. Am I making sense? So if that happens, everything will be unique. So I can slide through by clicking on each one, as you can see over here. So I can have the selected image, which will be a square, so that it is consistent with this image. So that way it's consistent. and would look provide a clean feel. Plus, it will make things more consistent throughout every single page. Yeah, so the idea at the moment is to populate those grid boxes with the images that I screen grabbed from my Instagram profile. So that's the task for today. I have populated the flex box with all the images that I have cropped from the screenshots from my Instagram profile. And so far it's looking nice. But as you can see, if I inspect this one, it is not so responsive. I haven't enabled the media queries yet, so it isn't responsive yet. At the moment, I'm using flex boxes. So I'm using row and then col, which is column. So that's how I'm populating the images at the moment, which is not the ideal approach that I'm going for. What I want is to use grid as a gallery. But I realized I don't have an in-depth understanding of grid. I used to have an in-depth understanding of grid, but I haven't used it for a long time and I forgot. I still have some glimpse here and there. So I'm going to have to spend a little more time trying to understand how the grid works. So that's my next step. So have populated it and I'm really happy with how it's starting to look. I need to replace the flexbox with grid. So I'm going to start studying about grid right now. So that's pretty much it for today. Small steps, right? So yeah.